Good morning, and I just thought I'm coming to the allotment. I'm going to give you a quick tour, a May tour of what's going on at the moment. And first things first, as you can see behind me is the amazing Weigela. It's all in flower. Yeah, what's nice about this area is that it's a flower garden really. As you walk in, flower and herbs. So we have a montana and a weigela mixed in with a bit of borage and herbs, a huge bay tree, a sorry for itself looking rosemary bush, but it's going through a salvation period. There's a variegated weigela and another montana. Just going back over here. My peas are finally taking off. So yeah, they're up from the ground, so that means the sluggies can't get them so much. So whatever survived and is growing up now probably will just bush up and take on. But the other end's still looking a bit sad. Yeah, it's a bit slower, a bit sad. But the new ones, I planted some in the ground and they're coming through, so hopefully some of those will survive and help that little row. Walking down, you can just see my potatoes looking good. I'm not even going to check those yet. We'll give those another 3 or 4 weeks just to see how well they do, but they do need a bit of water now that it's really drying up. My spare cabbages. This is sort of a herb garden. It's turned into a herb garden because I've been growing my coriander and last year's parsley, some spring onions which are getting ready now, and a bit of lettuce, my tomato plants. Yeah, they're coming on nicely now. These are the first ones that I put out. Some cherries and some large ones. My first border, I call it a border, but it's like a low tunnel really with a cover on the top. My tomatoes and some chard, more coriander and space. There's a bit of space, that's good, and lots of lettuce. We've been picking lots of lettuce. This one's not so full, but I'm saving space for some of my peppers. One lowly cabbage, a bit holy, just trying to keep him off the ground. The end of the pak choy and the spinach, which is just starting to bolt a little bit. We've had lots of that, and some space. And this bed, more spinach. This is a Medania, and again, it's been delicious, it's been fabulous. We've had lots of this, but that's I picked it the other day. We'll see how this goes, but this generally lasts a bit longer, and it's pretty shady here, so which is good. My tayberry, all in flower, so that should be okay. We've got lots of new stems coming up. Yeah, really strong growth, so that's good. Beautiful flowers. My apple trees, they're quite pinned back, but there's lots of flowers on them, and the flowers are just going over now, so we'll see how those 2 bushes do. Fabulous site. It's just such a quiet, fabulous site. My garlic, now it was looking a bit brown, but I did check it and I don't think it's rusty at all, so I'm quite happy about that. We'll just assume that was a bit of a dry period that it went through, and make a little bit of food to see how it does then. More garlic. Onions, and my onions are actually starting to bulb up a little bit now, so see the neck is starting to look a bit fatter now, so I'm hoping for some good bulbing. These were the sets that I planted before Christmas, so we'll just see how long they last before they start to go. These were my onions, seeds from seed, red onions, so I'm hoping for a good crop from those because they're just doing really well at the moment. My tomatoes planted out, they need some warmer warmer sunny days. It hasn't been too bad, but it's quite dewy overnight still, so I'm just a bit concerned about them because they've sort of slowed down a little bit outside. And here's my one lonely Crimson Crush. Yeah, Crimson Crush, Crimson Crush. Gotta have Crimson Crush. More lettuce and spring onions in this little border, but this is free, ready to plant up. And I've got stuff coming, lots of stuff coming in the greenhouse, and just growing on a little bit. My first set of peppers that I put in the ground, these are the ones that got scorched by the sun, but they're now underneath the low tunnel, so we'll just see how they do. They did well out last year, apart from they don't like it at the back where it might get a bit sort of condensation. Now in the greenhouse you can see that the tomatoes are at a slightly different stage in here. They prefer it, obviously it's drier. So, and I've got tomatoes in my greenhouse at home. You can pick out a few side shoots, which we will get around to doing. They need tying in, they've just been potted in there. And my squash are all ready to go out, but I've been saving them. And then we've got indoor chilies and peppers, which will stay in this greenhouse, but once other peppers go out into the low tunnels and then create some space, I can pot them on a little bit more. Just more aubergines and peppers and chilies. Mostly I've got Scotch bonnet and habanero, which I love. I think they're fabulous. And some peppers. Here we have the bigger aubergines, and they're coming on nicely. So we just need to watch that they don't dry out now, because they're getting very rooted up, and just pick out some of those side shoots to let them come on a bit more. Another nice big aubergine, and these hanging baskets with the tumbling toms I will put out, but maybe next week I'll put those out. So finally some of my cabbages and cauliflowers underneath here are taking off, and this is my area in my fruit cage. As you can see, all my black currants coming on, just coming into fruit now. But yes, some of the purple sprouting a bit late, and the big kales that I put in earlier have reached the top, so we're going to pick some of those. Fruit's looking good. So I've got 4 blackcurrant bushes, and here's the blueberries, and they are going from flower to fruit, so that's good. Oh, let's have a look. Any seeds up in here? Oh yeah, we have got some seeds. Yeah, we have got some carrots, which tend to be better in the raised beds in here. I don't know why. I don't know why the slugs don't find them in here, but they ate on my previous set up. So, and the raspberry canes. This is the later, larger raspberries, and these are the early raspberries. So, yeah, looking pretty good. Let's just take a walk to the entrance and see how things are doing in the fleecy tunnel. I've kind of got a makeshift fleecy tunnel, as you see. It keeps blowing over because I don't have, there's only seeds growing underneath that one. Underneath this one there should be, let's have a quick look. Yep, there should be celeriac, and as you can see, it was tiny, and it's actually started to pick up a bit now. And I put this cover on, not because it needs to stay warm, but just to keep the birds off and a few pests off, because I don't know about celeriac. My first little bean experiment They were given to me, so I thought I'd better put those in the ground. First leeks out in the ground, and this is the celery, which is only now marginally bigger than the celeriac, so it's caught up a little bit. Let's just check for the slugs. This is where I've been having all the slug problems with my cabbages and my cauliflowers. So we'll have a quick peek this morning, see how much damage has been done. Let's just have a quick look. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Hard to see one-handed, but there's nothing obvious on them. Let's hope they may have got past the stage of being decimated by the slugs, but you never know. A dewy morning like this, you would have thought that you would have seen slugs still out and about. So I think I'm going to lift the rest up with this straw that I've been putting underneath here, and the lettuce is ready to pick some more of that lettuce through the middle there. So a few K-lets, they're going to be pushing up this fleece cover before you know. So yeah, just getting up off the ground with any kind of mulch seems to be a key factor. And lastly, I'm just checking out my new little row of carrots that are right in this open bed here, which have done really well. I mean, this was the second lot that I sowed after having a bit of a disaster with the first lot. But I don't know if you can see, but here we have footprints around where the deer have been in here, and they just come in through the hedge down at the bottom there, because it's all open countryside behind these trees, and just come and and they can still get over this fence, which is, let me see how high this is, how tall this is. Well, this fence here is up to my shoulder, so this has got to be a 4-foot fence, and they just pop over the top, come in and have a little munch and see what there is to take their fancy. Which, I should come down here with a thermal camera or an infrared overnight camera and just see what happens down here overnight, because I'm sure there's a host of wildlife, rabbits and deer and badgers and hedgehogs and things like that come out at night. But thanks for watching. Just a quick tour of what's going on at the allotment. Lots to come in the future, so keep watching.